Hello, thank you for stopping by my channel. My name is Liz, and today we are going over the end of paycheck number 1 for January for me and the beginning setup for the second paycheck of January. If you are not a returning viewer, then you would not know I do get paid bi-weekly, so I'll get paid twice a week, and I budget for my month the beginning of the month before. So part of this paycheck, January paycheck, will cover the last week of December. So let's get into it. The first time ever since starting my cash envelope system, I had money left over in my cash envelopes. So I am really excited about that. So let's get into it and we'll find out what I had where. The first week of groceries, I had 0 left over. I used all of my grocery money in the first week. So second week of groceries, I did have money left over. I had $5 and $6 left over the second week of groceries, so $6. Household, I had 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 left over. In thrift, now just to have complete clarity, I did not spend any of my thrift money on thrifting. I got really lazy one day and decided I was not going to cook, and I went and got fast food instead, and I just used the money from my thrift envelope because I knew I wasn't going to use it. So I did have some leftover still, even though I did use some of it. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 10. I had $10 left over there. Okay, there was no fun money left over. I used all of that up. And then in my oops category, I had $5 left. So I had a total of, well, I think it's 26, but we're going to count it up and just make sure. How was everyone's week? I hope everyone's first week of the new year was great, even with all of the weird, crazy things going on in the world. Right, there we go. Let's count this up. So 5, 10, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, and 26. I think I did. So we have rounded out our budget. All of my bills got paid on time. I didn't go over in anything. So then let's move on to our paycheck number 2, which I will be getting tomorrow. So we want to make sure that I have this all budgeted out. I am very new at doing any sort of budgeting, so I am attempting to create my own budget, and as you can tell, it's still kind of just a rough draft of what I want to do. I have created a couple of stickers, but it's still got some work before I'm happy with it, and I don't have any fancy binder or planner or anything. I just grabbed a notebook that I already had on hand that you can tell has been well used already, even though it's still full of paper. So anyway, I did budget out my paycheck. I have not paid my tithe yet, as I haven't gotten paid yet. So I will come back and check this off once I have gotten paid and have contributed to tithe. After I get my paycheck and do my tithe and everything, I will have a remainder of $5.20 left. And if you are returning from last time, you do notice that it is the exact same amount as it was in the last one. My paycheck is normally the same thing. I do work pretty consistent hours. So unless I get any type of significant overtime, which rarely ever happens, it's pretty much the same thing every time. The only thing that changes sometimes is these extra little bills that I will get occasionally. If you're looking at my expenses, you'll notice that they are different. I do have different expenses for each paycheck. So my renter's insurance is $9. It's, I think, pretty good. I do have one monthly subscription that I pay for. I used to have Netflix and I just never watched it, so I got rid of it. But I do utilize my Audible subscription every day, basically, and I do pay $15 a month for that. I have considered changing to a yearly subscription for it, but I just don't want to do that at the moment. And then I will be putting another $100 onto my credit card. And I do plan within the next month or so setting up a sheet to do my debt breakdown. This credit card is my only debt, and it is under $6,000, but I can't seem to leave the credit card alone, so it doesn't ever go down. And in the next year, my goal is to completely pay this off and get rid of it. And then I have budgeted out $50 for gas once again. Currently, this is a pretty good, substantial amount for the gas that I'm using. This will fluctuate throughout the year on what I'm paying for it. But that brings that total to $174. And it's pretty close to what it was last month. Since I started doing my phone bill and my Wi-Fi bill into sinking funds where I split them out between my paychecks, this number is so much nicer on both paychecks, because before they were both coming out of this one, so it would make this paycheck so much harder to make it through than this one. But now that I've got it split up, it makes it so much easier. And then if you look over here, after I had gotten my budget all worked out and everything, you will see that I did get an extra bill come in. It's a doctor's bill that is $40. And since I'd already worked this out, I really didn't want to rework it. So I'm actually just going to pay that from the cushion I have in my checking account. I have enough in there to pay for that. So that isn't included in this $174 total. And we can carry on and see that our remaining money after our expenses is $346. So then we get into our cash envelopes, right? So for my cash envelopes, they're basically the same amounts as before, except for the fun category. I am bumping that up $5 to $25. So that leaves us with a remainder of $156 for our sinking funds, plus this money as well. And I decided on the money that was a rollover from my grocery money that is going to go into my grocery savings, which I wrote that down on the wrong spot. It needs to go into grocery savings instead of gas savings. So we're going to be adding $6 into there, which makes $7, since I was already going to stuff $1 in it. This is not a high priority envelope. I just want to bulk it up, so in case I need to buy extra groceries, I do try to do some sort of clean eating, kind of a paleo type, not full on paleo, but a little bit like that eating. I do have some medical issues, and I just feel better if I don't eat a lot of processed food. unfortunate circumstance of trying to eat better is it's more expensive. So I just want to have some saved up just in case I need to buy like a pantry staple or something like that. That would be more than a week's worth of groceries would normally cost. But so I'll put that in there, and then as you can tell, I've just delegated out kind of everywhere, and there's ones in about half of them, and one I'm not gonna fund Amazon again this time. I did fund it in my last mini cash stuffing from the stimulus to get it started, but I'm not gonna do it this time. I'll start trying to bulk that up a little bit in the next few months. I don't have to worry about it until next year, since my bill is due next week and I already have the money put together for that. It just needs to go into the bank. So that does bring us to my transactions. In one of my last videos, I had mentioned that I was interested in keeping track of where my transactions were going, what I was spending my money on, and just getting a handle on where it was going. And I did kind of start, and I did pretty good the first week. The second week, it's been bad. I know I spent some money somewhere that is not in here a couple of times, I think. But I started there, and then I realized you could see it through there. It was bleeding through the paper, and I don't like the looks of that. So I did have this calendar sitting around that I thought, well, I'll try using this, and it's working out okay. I can keep track of the days, what I'm spending money on, and I do want at the end of the month to add up all the different categories and see where I'm spending my money and what I'm spending it on. I do have 5 different categories. There's gas, grocery fund, household and thrift, and oops. All right, so that is basically it for my cash, or for my budget. And I will decide off camera where I want this money minus the $6 and the grocery savings to go to. I'm not sure where I want those to go, and they'll just be added on to this $156 total. So we will see how I get that worked out, and I will see you next time in my cash stuffing and sinking fund video, which should be in the next day or two. So thank you for stopping by and checking me out. Have a good one.